Today's video contains a rumor on the Final Fantasy series. All rumors should be considered false until officially confirmed and are reported for entertainment and speculation value. And you should always wait for official confirmation. With that out of the way, let's get started. If you recall, a while back, there was a big Nvidia database leak, and in that database leak, we got a ton of titles that were leaked out that definitely were not supposed to leak out, including Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered, Chrono Remastered, Final Fantasy 9 Remake, a bunch of titles that sound like they aren't real, they sound like they don't exist, they sound like a really awesome fever dream that you wake up from and feel disappointed. But no, seemingly, this is real, and every day new stuff comes out, and it gets more and more real. God of War coming to PC, and now we're looking at Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered yet again, seemingly being real, seemingly coming out, seemingly being an actual remastered video game that we'll be playing. The latest bit of evidence that we've gotten for this is this IDOS Montreal survey that they've done. So they're asking if you played Final Fantasy Tactics or if you played Ogre Battle in this survey. Interesting, right? So this is the original Reddit post, the person who made the discovery for this. This is what they've had to say. You don't know me, but I'm too excited about my find, and I want to share with people who are going to be as excited as I am. A month ago, I think Nvidia showed the leak that there was a Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster being made. I didn't even know just found out while searching news regarding Final Fantasy Tactics. I just received an IDOS Montreal playtest invitation, which also playtests Square Enix games in general, and everything seemed to indicate that they're playtesting a tactical game. They were asking if I played Fire Emblem, FF Tactics, Ogre Battle, Disgaea, Into the Breach, etc. At first I thought this was about triangle strategy, but while they didn't ask if I played Octopath, they did ask if I played Final Fantasy XII and its DS sequel, Final Fantasy Revenant Wings, if you guys are not familiar, which was a tactical game that was kind of a sequel to 12. The only non-FF tactical games that take place in Ivalice. They also asked if I played Final Fantasy Tactics PS1 and if I played the iOS/Android version, which seemed weird to me. They never asked about multiple versions of the same game. Here's the screenshots they asked about. So if you go through this, again, every single question on their playtest survey is about Final Fantasy Tactics or Ogre or Fire Emblem or something related to tactical strategy games. Through and through. Every single question seems to be related to it. So, evidence looking pretty strong in favor of Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster here. Judging by the fact that they're asking if you played all of these different versions of the game, that seems to indicate to me that they're looking at trying to make the best definitive version. And they're asking people who've played those versions and if they are aware of all of them and if they can make the best version possible. As you can see, this is not very subtle, and I presume they want to playtest it with people accustomed to that kind of game, which I am, so I'm crossing my fingers. I mean, it's kind of crazy they even asked about Ogre Battle, which didn't get a new game for the last 20 years. Anyway, this is not a leak per se, and there's no concrete proof. This is all deduction, but this cannot be a coincidence. So again, playtest is asking all about people who have played Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy Tactics, Ogre Battle, all these different games that are strategy games. It's entirely possible that maybe that they are asking someone who has played or they want them to play triangle strategy or something like that. But this does seem to really coincide Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster, which we've gotten a leak for. And again, if it's something for a triangle strategy, you'd think they would ask about Octopath, but they didn't ask about Octopath even once. It was strictly about Final Fantasy Tactics for the most part and other competitor strategy games. So this is really interesting. It does seem to indicate that maybe we are going to be seeing some sort of Tactics Remaster, and it also gives a lot of credence to the Nvidia rumor, which has been reoccurring yet again. It keeps coming up. Everything that has been on that rumor, that list that leaked out, seemingly seems to be real. Like everything that's came out on there has slowly, nothing has been like outright unconfirmed at this point, to my knowledge. It's been like a slow leak of confirmation that we've been getting on most of these titles. And so while I don't think that every single thing on that list is 100% true, I do believe that some of it is speculation. I think that it's speculation based on real things that are actually happening in terms of games that are being made for real. And I think it's a matter of when we're going to see those games now at this point, rather than a matter of if those games are real, because quite frankly, at this point, things just keep happening, things keep coming out, and we keep finding out that more and more of these games on this list are real. What that means, Final Fantasy 9 Remake, Final Fantasy 9 is looking practical, let's just say at this point. Like, I still have a hard time wrapping my head around the idea that a remake of Final Fantasy 9 could be real in any capacity. But if Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered gets announced anytime soon, we're gonna know almost for sure that the rest of the list is basically confirmed, because pretty much no one was predicting Tactics Remastered coming out before this list. Now it's looking pretty real. It also means that Chrono Remastered likely real, and it also means that somehow Kingdom Hearts 4 is also real, which is probably the hardest game on the list to wrap our head around, right? Kingdom Hearts 4. There's not going to be a Kingdom Hearts Death by Awakening 3579 over 8 days or anything like that. They're just going pretty much straight to Kingdom Hearts 4 after Melody of Memory, which blows my mind to say the least. So looking at this, the evidence just keeps mounting. An Nvidia leak is turning out to be the biggest leak in video game history, and it's so crazy that, you know, when it first happened, I was like, man, you know, these titles, everything on this list is just way too good to be true. There's no way that all these games can like really be coming. It's like all of this really happening, but it's looking like it. It's looking like this is what's going to be happening. This is pretty strong confirmation, man, that we might be getting Tactics Remastered. And if we are getting Tactics Remastered, then boy, everything else on that list is likely true. Final Fantasy 9 Remake, Kingdom Hearts 4, Chrono Cross Remastered. It's crazy. But you know, after the Pixel remasters came out, it really does make sense that we would be getting something like this for these other games. So Square has just been going down the list and re-releasing so many different games in terms of remasters, remakes, and updated ports and everything else that they've been doing. I would genuinely be surprised if they left games that were fan favorites like Tactics out of the loop, or like Chrono Cross and those sorts of games. It's a good time to be a Square fan. It really is. It really is, because it feels like if you are a Square fan, everything is happening right now. Everything is happening. It is a damn to love Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has really been on the comeback stride recently, and you know, it's good. It's good because for a long time it felt like it was not on the comeback side. I remember after like 15 came out, like Vanilla 15, I was just like, we were just at like this lowest low with Final Fantasy, and it just felt like everything was at like a very low point, like right after 15 came out, and it didn't seem like things were ever going to get back to a point where Final Fantasy fans could just comfortably be excited for stuff. And I don't know if we can still comfortably be excited for things now. Honestly. But so yeah, this is exciting. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy Tactics, it looks like this is happening. If you're like me and you haven't got a chance to play Final Fantasy Tactics, I'm super excited to finally be able to play this game. Everyone tells me that Matsuno's work is exactly what is up my alley, so I'm going to be thrilled if I can get my hands on Tactics Remaster, and hopefully the rumors, the indication that we're getting here is true. Hopefully this is the way things are going.